Good. Welcome to our meeting. Thank you for being here with us, John, and everybody else. Damaris is here also with us from Loan Depot. And everybody else, welcome to our meeting. I'm excited for this meeting today. We have a few different topics that we're going to be talking about it. And John also brought something very interesting to share with us. And to start with, I like to point out an application that was designed by the Association of Realtors. And some of you guys are familiar with that. It's used to be called GoMLS or GoMLS Miami. And I'm going to show you the icon, the previous icon, and they changed the application. They updated, they make something new, more advanced in technology. And what is it good for us? I'm going to tell you that to search the MLS for us agents, it's still better to do through the computer or Matrix, the desktop Matrix. It's the best way to still search for us as agent. But we have clients that wants to gain access to the MLS. And why is this good for us? Number one is that the buyers, they are looking for houses on realtors.com or Zillow.com. And the bad thing about it is that when they find a house and you all work with the buyer, and if they are on their computer or on their phone, search for a property, when they find a property, there's also a suggestion of 4 different agents, and you are not one of them. And if they need some information about the property, they're probably going to contact them. And then you have a possibility of losing a client. And let me mute everybody. Excuse me. And also, realtors.com and Zillow.com, they are not 100% accurate. They are not 100% updated with the MLS information. I received few calls, not a few, many calls from buyers that found a property on the MLS that is being on the market for 6 months, and it still shows an active listing on the on Zillow. So I sent a message to one of my clients and I said, look, you can use this application to gain direct access to MLS. That was the word that I used it, to gain access directly to MLS. And she was very excited. Wow, it means that I can see what you see? So yes, you can see what I see. Oh, I don't have to go to Zillow because I know Zillow is not up to date. So yes, you don't have to go to Zillow. You can just access this application and it's direct access to the MLS. She was very excited. And one thing is that when you share the application with your buyers, with anybody that you share your application, that application is linked to you. Meaning if they need to get any information or get in contact with any agent about any listing that they found, you are the only agent that's gonna show up. So they're gonna have to contact you if they find anything they like it. And that's the good thing for us. We don't want the buyers that we have a hard time finding it to end up going to someone else because your contact information is not on their hands. So, and I'm gonna show that to you. I'm gonna, I put it on 2 phones here. One, it's my phone as an agent where I download the application. And I have another phone here that I'm using as a client. So you know what the client sees. Okay, so let me get this here. I'm gonna transfer the host to my phone and I'm gonna show that to you guys. Now I'm gonna share my screen. All right, you guys can see my phone, right? It's the screen of my phone. Good. Now let me show you where was the the icon before. So I want you to, if you have it, you have to uninstall this application. Okay. My screen should go back online now. Yes, good. So this is the icon of the application before. If you have that application in your phone, you need to uninstall that application and download the new one. The new one is still, it's called the same, GoMLS Miami, but has a different icon. Okay? So this application, if you have it, it's not in use anymore. You need to download the new one. All right. If you have an iPhone, you go to Apple Store. If you have a Samsung, you have to go to Play Store. And then you search for GoMLS. And the first icon, this one here, is the one that you want to download. Okay? The icon looks like a blue house with a magnifying glass with a black background. Okay? So once you download that application, you open up and you have to log in with your credentials. And it's the same credential that you use to log in on Matrix. Same credential. It's going to be your, it's going to be your license number and the password that you use to log in on the MLS, okay? And once you log in, you're going to click on top left. You see the logo for GoMLS on the top left below the time you want for team. That's the one you're gonna click. So once you click, you're gonna see your information that you can update. If it's not correct, you can come here. You can update your photo. It says here, edit photo. You can upload a different photo, your email, your phone number. So once you have everything updated, you are going to share my application. Now, the important thing, and I want to point that out again, so you guys will remember when you do this, is that if anybody download the application direct from the Apple Store or Play Store, they are not linked to you. They will see the listing agent. They will see the contact information for the listing agent for that listing that they found. That's why you don't want them to download the application directly from Apple Store or from Play Store. He has to download from the link that is being generated from your application after you log in. So you sure you log in when you see your information over there. So then you click on share my app, and then you have an option. You can share by email, and you have more options. If you click more options, you can share basically through anything, SMS, messages, WhatsApp. So once you generate the message, and that's how it looks like. They will receive something like this. Open my app in your mobile browser by click this link. In case the setup gets interrupted, simply tap the link above again. So this link here was generated through my application where I am logged in. So if you download this link, through this link, you will be automatically linked to me. I've been on the phone with Samsung. If you guys have Samsung, like I do, I have Samsung, you might face some problems with this application, and I can tell you how to go around it. And some of the things I already addressed it to the MLS, and they are working on it. I'm going to transfer this back to me so I can put the client, so you will see how the client will operate on this application. Let me go back here so you know If you want to search for a property, you can come here and search for a property or an MLS number, right? If you want to go and see your listings, then you click on My Listings, and it will show all your listings, all the listings that you have. You can go through all the listings and get any information you want. And you can, through here, you can send it to anybody. Any listings that you have, you can send it through here. Okay? But the most important thing is not your application in your phone. It's how you're going to share this with other people. And the good thing is that if they share from their computer, from their phone to anybody else, it's also linked to you. So you never know where this application is going to go to, and this is still linked to you. Okay, let me get this. Let me get it back. Now I'm going to show you how it looks. On the client phone. All right, so this is the client phone. After they receive the link, they will click on the link and will download the application. And that's how the application looked like. So right here at the bottom, it says GoMLS is my last application on the right. I'm going to open. Okay, so this application, because they download through my link, it's directly connected to me. Look at that. They're a guest, they are not an agent, and it says that your agent is Orlindo Machado, and if you click on Orlindo Machado, then you get all my information. You get my email, my phone number, my company name. So this application is directly linked to me. Now, if they search for any property, let's say 33179, they're looking for property on 33179 in Miami. So if they find any property, they click on the property and they can look at the pictures, all the information about it, the property, the description, everything that we see on the MLS, they see here. And the important thing is that every information is up to date according to the MLS. It's not according to Zillow or anything else. Now, this is the good thing. When they click here, well, I like it. I want to contact this listing agent. I want to talk to this listing agent. And they're going to click on contact. When they click on contact, look who shows up, me. And this is the glitch on the system, okay? And it only works on the Samsung. It doesn't show my phone number, and it doesn't show my picture. It doesn't show my company name. And they are already working on it. I've been with them on the phone since yesterday. They escalate the issue, and they are working on it. But I shared this application with another client that has an iPhone, and I told her to share the screenshot with me so I can see how it looks like. Okay, there you go. She has a iPhone. She downloaded the application through the link I sent, the same link that I used before. And when she clicked on get contact for this listing, it shows my name, my photo, my phone, and my email. So right now they have a glitch on the Samsung or an Android application for phones, and they're already working on it. But even if they don't fix it right now, it's okay to send the link to other people, because what you want is them not to see anybody else but yourself, and they will. Your phone is not going to show when they click on contact, but if they go to the profile of the agent, then all the information is there. All right, so we move on. As soon as they tell me that the problem, the glitch was fixed, I will let you guys know. I'm going to address one situation that a few agents has calling me about. It's how to prepare a contract to lease. Right now, there's a big number of people looking to rent. So it's increasing the number of people looking to rent a new property. And it's a good thing because it's an income, it's an extra income that we have. We can do renting and we make some money. And some agents are having problems and they don't know what to do with the rent. There's a lot of people out there that they are dealing with sales and they never deal with the rent and they don't know what to do. So I'm gonna tell you all the steps when you are representing a tenant, okay? After the tenant found the property and they say, look, this is the property that I wanted. And then you need to send an offer to the landlord and they start the negotiation so they can do the lease agreement, okay? I'm gonna log in and I'm gonna use a real one, okay? If you guys in this situation, you will know what to do from now on. And in details. Okay. I'm gonna go to Matrix. So this client, she found an apartment that is located on 16546, apartment 2E. The best way to start any agreement, contract, if it's a contract to lease, if it's a purchase and sales contract, is go through your MLS and start the application from the MLS. Okay, I'm gonna click here on the listing. And if you look at here, I have an icon right here for form simplicity. If I click on this form and this icon here for form simplicity, it will already filled up a lot of information related to the property. So it's gonna save me a lot of time, okay? A lot of typing. So I will click on it and here I am. It's already picked up all the details of the information, the address, everything, the renting. So I'm gonna say, add it to a transaction. And I'm gonna put here, save as, I'm gonna put it, meeting, save it. Okay, now I have a transaction with that name, which is for that property. Now I need to add a form to this transaction. And the first form when you are representing a tenant is a form called contract to lease. Then you're gonna go here on add forms to transaction. You're gonna click on it and find a form. You're gonna put contract to, and you're gonna find it right here, contract to lease. So that is the form that you want to start with. This is basically how you present an offer for a lease. So now you're gonna fill out the information. And some people say, well, who is the landlord? Because the landlord doesn't show on the listing. Excuse me. Yes, the landlord doesn't show on the listing, but you can find out. And the best way is to fill out the name of the landlord, or if it's a seller, if you're doing a purchase and sales contract, don't put as per public record. You know, that's lazy and can lead to a problem in the future. So the best thing to do is go to the public records and get the name. And you will know also, if you go to the public records, if it's owned by more than one person, because then you know the more than one person will have to sign the contract or the agreement. Okay, then you go to, if you don't have, here is the link. I'm gonna copy and I'm gonna paste on our chat, okay? To everyone. To everyone, paste. Okay, that's the link to Miami Public Records, okay? You find any information about a property in Miami-Dade. If you were looking for Broward, I'm gonna also put there for the Broward, okay? So then you have both with you guys. Paste. Good. Now, going back to Miami, I'm gonna put the address here. The address is 16546 Northeast 26, and the apartment is 2E. Search. 16, let's go back here and find out if that's right. 16546 Northeast 26 Avenue. Okay, so here is the folio number, and this is the owner. And then I'll copy, and I will paste them here. And then I'll put the buyer's name. Buyer, not buyers, sorry. It's the tenant. Tenant's name. Now, the second part of this contract is when will they execute the lease agreement? When will they be ready to execute the lease agreement? All right, we can put like on the 9th. June 9th, they will be ready to execute the lease agreement. Okay, now who's going to prepare the lease? In general, is the landlord. But if you put the tenant, then the tenant's gonna have to. So you leave to the landlord, so the landlord will prepare the lease agreement. Now, it's always good to collect a deposit. And this is something that I've seen some agents make a mistake. You see here, has paid. The verb is in the past, which means that you got the money. If you didn't get the money, then don't put anything here because you didn't get the money, okay? So whatever you put here is the money that you collected. In general, I collect a 1 month deposit. So has paid, in that case, will be $1,700. And who is gonna hold the money? Guys, we have an agreement with John, and John holds the money for us, and he's doing great favor. Of course, we are always send him our deals, and I encourage you, not only because he's been a great guy, he's been helping us, it's because in all my years in experience, he has been one of the most professional attorney and the closing agent that I have ever met. He's very patient in explaining. His price is very reasonable, and he's very professional and fast in what he's doing. And that's why we are always using him, and I always encourage all our agents to go to him. And then you're gonna put here who's holding.
Thanks, Orlando.
You're welcome, John. It's true.
It's true.
Yes, if you have any opinion, please, it's your time. Actually, it's a closing and escrow. Okay, so is this property furnished or unfurnished? Then you click whatever it is. The property will be used for only residential purpose that occupied by only tenants and the following persons. Now let's see here, it's a husband and wife. Then you put it, John and Mary Smith. If there's anybody else that will occupy the property, then you put it here. Okay, the lease will begin, let's say, in July 1st, 2020, and will end on June 30th, 2021. Okay, that's 12 months. The tenant will pay a sum off, and then some people say, Arlindo, I click here and I can't click, I can't type anything. Of course, the number that will appear here will be the add of all the amounts that you put here. Okay, the first month rent will be 17, and due, let's say, on the walkthrough date, the day you're gonna get the key. Okay, the advanced rent of, or last month rent plus applicable will be 17, which is due on the same date. And the security deposit, which you already got on June, what day is today? June 20, today's the 11th, no, 4th, actually, and this is July 1st. You see, every time that you put a number here, it changes the total amount on this side here. Okay, if there is any pet deposit, security deposit for the association, then you put it here. Some association requires $500 deposit. Some association requires 1 month deposit. If that's the case, you're gonna put the number here and we alter your number on the top. Now, this is important. This says here, the paragraph 2, I'm gonna bring it up a little bit here. The paragraph 2 deposit will be credited as shown. And I've seen people mark this, this, and this, and they put 1,700 in all of them. No, the question says, whatever you put on paragraph 2, which is this one here, will be credited to what? So in general, we put that this number that we put here will be credited to the security deposit. Then I put it here. And I put it 1,700. So this 1,700 here will be applied to security deposit here. I don't have to check anything else. Now, the rent payments tax will be paid total rent for the leased term. If we read, we will understand what this is. Some people come here and they put 1,700. No, it says for the lease term. Remember that the term is for 1 year. Then you put 17 and you multiply by 12, and you get 20,400. All right. Tenant will also pay taxes when applicable. Don't put anything here. Full is not going to be paying full. It's going to pay monthly on the first in the amount of 1,700. Now, pets, are pets allowed or not allowed? That's what you're going to pick. Smoking, is smoking allowed or not? Now, the tenant will pay all utility services during the lease term. Connection, charge, and deposits for activating existing utility connection to the property, except for some rents. They are, let me mute this phone here. Sound, no ring, no notification. Good. Sorry for that, guys. Some association, like this one here, already include the TV and Ethernet. So if that's the case, then you put it TV, cable, and Ethernet. All the utility. And you can also put water, because you're not going to pay water. And here, the maintenance. Landlord will be responsible for maintenance and repair of the property, except for, in general, we put it AC filter, because AC filter is like wear and tear. So the tenant is going to have to change that. Now, the association approval. The tenant in general is the tenant will pay for a non-refundable application fee. And that you need to know. It should be on the listing. If it's not on the list, you should contact the association or the listing agent. In general, it's in the association, like we see right here. Application fee, $150. Then we go back. And we put it $150. And make application for the association approval. Let's say that we said we're going to sign it at 10, so they're going to make the application the 10th. Okay, additional terms. If there is any additional terms, example, and this is the thing that any negotiation has to be done now, not after. You know, I've seen people after they sign the lease, they come and say, oh, I like the landlord to paint the apartment before we move in. That's too late. If the landlord says no, it's no. You can't do anything about it because you already signed the lease. This is where you negotiate your terms. If you want the tenants to, the landlord to paint the units, then you put it here. If it's carpet and you wanted the tenant to wash the carpet before you move in, then you put it here. If you saw anything wrong on the unit, you know, the AC was not working, was not cooling, or there's a leaking on the refrigerator, or the disposal was not working, anything that you saw, then you put it here. Whatever is not working, and you require the landlord to fix prior to your walking through. Because when you do the walkthrough, you're going to go exactly through those items. And that's where you're going to itemize all of them. Okay? And basically, that's it. The prospect, tenants, agents, it's already filled up here. And the landlord's agent is already filled up here. You're going to get all the signature. Okay? Now, and then you save it. There's nothing else here. You can put the prospect landlord's address. You can put the email or not. And then you save it. And then you close it. Now, today, it's much better, especially today with this COVID, that people doesn't want to have a social contact. It will be better if you email them for electronic signature. I've been telling the agents that one of the best investment that I ever made was the electronic signature through Form Simplicity. I think it costs $70 or something per year. And it makes your life very easy. What? Sorry?
I said it's great. It's worth the investment.
Yes, it's worth the investment because you don't have to go anywhere. So the only thing you have to do, you come here, click on this box here to select the form, and then you go select the command, and then you go to e-sign, and then create a session. And then you click here to open. Now you are on the electronic signature. The session will be same. I'm going to repeat the address: 16546 Northeast 26th Avenue, Unit 2E, and then please, whatever, dear please review and sign the contract to lease, whatever, and then you put it here and you go next. Now you need to add a signer. Who's going to sign? In general, you're going to send it to your tenants. You're not going to send it to anybody else. You're going to send it to your tenants. And then you click here, add signer. And let's say the signer is me. And I put the first name, last name, email address, save it. And then I will select it, and I go next. I will select the form. I'm gonna say here, who is Arlindo Machado? Arlindo Machado is the tenant to one, not the landlord, not tenant to two, because we don't have two tenants. We only have one. Then you go next. It tells me that there are other people to sign. Of course, they know that there are spaces in the form for tenant to one, tenant to two, landlord one, landlord two, and I only select tenant to one, and that's what it's telling me. There's more people, but you okay? Yes, I'm okay. There's only one that's going to sign by now, for now. Okay, and then I select the form that they're going to, and then I click next. And I will make sure that the place for the tenant to sign is already marked for initial and signature. So I'll scroll down. I'm going to show here prospect tenant, signature, initial, prospect tenant initial, and prospect tenant signature, and the date, and initial. So what I have to do now is next, make sure that everything is there. Okay, just review, just a next, just for review. And I'll review my text, the one that I wrote at the beginning, and then I click finish. We notice that you are the signer. Would you like to sign on or later? Later, because I use it myself and they know that that's me. All right, what happened now? An email was sent to the tenant, and then the tenant can sign. And the signature is very simple. Let's see if I can go through that as well. Yes. Okay, so this is the email invitation. Can you see that? Yes? You can?
Yeah.
All right, good. So you go to review and sign. So that's how there's a lot of people that they don't know how to use, they don't know how to make this signature. Once you know how, you can tell them how to do that. Very simple. The first one is how to choose the type of signature. For me, I don't care if it's gonna look like this or if it's gonna look different. I just accept it. And then I agree and start signing it. All right, good. I started again and it worked. So there's a button here that says start. That's what you're gonna tell them. Look for a button that says start on the left up. And on the top left. Then you click on start. So then the next comes here. I click inside the box. And then next, it's gonna take me to the next one. I click inside the box. Next takes to the next one. I click inside the box. And I click inside the box again. Next, inside the box. Next, go back here. So I can say finish, yes, good. Now that my tenant signed, I will receive by email the contract already signed, and I can submit to the landlord and continue with the process. Okay? John, back to you. Let me put you as a host. And once again, John, thank you for being with us.
Sure, my pleasure. I'm gonna basically talk today about some legal updates, just a couple of them. First is the evictions and foreclosure pause. That initially June 1st, but the governor, Ron DeSantis, has extended that until July 1st. So no evictions, no foreclosures until July 1st. As I recommended last time, I think it'd be best if you open up lines of communication. If you have a tenant or you have a landlord, speak to them and maybe work something out, maybe a payment plan, adding additional monies to your monthly payment, because this moratorium is a pause. It's an extension. It's not a forgiveness. It's a forbearance. So work out with your landlord or your tenant, try and come to some sort of agreement, because if you don't and you do need to evict, the courts are going to be so backed up when and if this does go through that it's going to take forever to try and evict someone. So try and work something out. The evictions and foreclosures are extended till July 1st, and it might even be extended further. So we'll keep an eye on that for you and keep you updated. Number two is in Sunny Isles Beach and in Miami, hotels and pools have reopened, which is good news. This started on Monday, June 1st. The beaches were going to reopen as well. Unfortunately, because of the curfew, there is a postponement for the beaches to open until after the curfew was lifted. And the curfew now, it was 9 p.m. to 6 p.m., is now changed to 12 a.m., midnight, to 6 a.m. So we'll keep an eye on that also to find out how long the curfew is going to be in place. And then also short-term vacation rentals, those are still prohibited. So those are some legal updates that I have. And Anthony, our other attorney in the office, is going to give some updates on open houses and signing overseas.
Hey, how's it going? Anthony here from Florida Closing and Escrow. I just wanted to talk quickly about some new open house guidelines. So first and foremost, a virtual open would always be recommended as your first option right now. But if that's not possible, then the Florida Realtors, the Miami Realtors, in coordination with the National Association of Realtors and the Florida Surgeon General, have created a document that are recommended open house guidelines. So there you'll find a list of do's and don'ts and recommendations for anyone that is hosting an open house. In addition, it's wise to remember that in all cases, currently the amount of people in one location together can be no more than 10. And we also advise the use of the in-person acknowledgement form that could be found in Form Simplicity. We also have been getting questions about sellers who are out of the country that need to sign their closing documents. Preferably, we always prefer documents to get signed and notarized at the local embassy. However, some countries still have their embassies closed. So in that case, the next best thing would be an apostille. So an apostille is basically a certification that authenticates the document. And only countries that are part of the Apostille Convention Treaty can issue the apostille. So basically the document will be signed by the foreign local notary. Then you contact the local authority who issues the apostilles in that country, and then they will issue an apostille on the document itself. And then when we receive those documents, we know that it is authenticated, it is original, and we can proceed with the closing and record the documents as usual. So I just wanted to give those two quick updates, and I guess I'll turn it back over to you, Arlindo.
All right. Great, Anthony. Thank you. Thank you, John. Guys, that's it for today. We are going to talk about next week about commission agreements between brokerages. If you're working like a co-broker with a different agent and and that's happening a lot. And the reason why is because only this week I received 3 phone calls from 3 different agents with the same questions. So it's something that you guys wanted to know. I'm gonna bring that up next week, and also about how to find commercial listings, okay? During that time, guys, get in contact with me if you know something, if you wanna know something, if you have any subject that you want us to bring it in, let me know. And the other question that you have about what was talking today, if it's my subject, call me. If it's John, I believe John and Anthony will always be available for you guys for any question that you have. Once again, thank you all of you to be here with us. Thank you, John. Thank you, Anthony, for your participation. And I'll see you guys next week.